Hi there, everyone. Hi there. Welcome to the Dance Fit Hub. My name is Catherine Farfan-Selim. I am your host, your virtual fitness coach, bringing you everything that you need to know to get your mojo back, right? To lose those last couple of pounds that you've been wanting to lose, to get stronger so that you can stay independent. All of those nice, fun things that we as women over 50 go through now at every stage, right? 50s, 60s, 70s, even into your 80s. Okay, so that is why we are here every Thursday to bring you lots of tips and, of course, truths and debunk myths and talk about all those fun things so that you can be on your way to being that strong, independent woman that you've always wanted to be, right? And just be unstoppable at any age. Okay, so welcome in, especially those of you that are brand new. Welcome in to the Dance Fit Hub. If you are watching live right now, please go ahead and let me know in the comments that you're here. And if you're watching this later on replay, just type replay in the comments so that I know that you came in a little late or later on, but you did get all of the information. Okay, so quick question, and I want you to answer really, really honestly, is this. How many times have you ever said any of this? Okay, I'm going to give you 3 examples and you tell me if you've ever said any of them. Okay, my knees know when it's getting cold outside. Okay, maybe, right? Winter weather makes my joints worse. And lastly, I should stop moving when it's cold because my joints always hurt. All right, so let me know. Like, have you ever said anything like that? Or if you've said something else related to that, what have you said? Let me know in the comments. Today, we are myth busting. That's what we are. We're busting 3 big myths about cold weather and your joints. And of course, we're talking about this because, as you know, I reside in Kissimmee, Florida, right? And right now, we're going through this cold front that's coming our way and has been here for a while, and it's going to get colder. And what I've noticed is that in my classes, a lot of people are not there. Okay, so numbers have gone down a little bit these past few days, just a little slight, but mostly in the classes where I know that I have people that have knee issues, ongoing chronic knee issues. Okay, so now I'm seeing this right now, but usually around this time it gets a little cold in Florida, right? And so it does happen every single year. It's kind of a little pattern that happens. And so here's the thing. The cold weather doesn't mean that your body can't function in the cold weather, right? It just means that your body needs a different kind of support. I mean, think about it. Those of you that lived in colder climates for years, I mean, you survived, right? And now maybe you're in warmer weather. It's okay, right? You can still survive. Your body still will function. Okay, it just needs a little something different. Okay, so before we continue with this, I'm just going to take a moment to take a look at what's happening here. Let me see who is on. And so, all right, I always forget to lower that. Ooh, yeah, Bev is here on a cold night, and Michelle is here. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. So what happens for those of you that don't know? So when you've been living in Florida, like for good, right? If you've retired here and you're here and not necessarily going back and forth as much, right, as a snowbird, what you realize is that in the first year, you think everybody's crazy, right? Because it's like 60 degrees or 50 degrees, even lower than that. And you're like, this is beautiful weather, right? But as you become a Floridian, okay, when you go back to those temperatures, it feels 10 times colder. Okay, so you know, if that's happened to you, say Floridian in the comment because it did happen to me in the second year when we moved here. So, all right. So every time that it's cold, I hear the same thing, right? Especially from women over 50, right? Oh, I haven't been in class because it got cold, right? Or I haven't been exercising because it got cold, right? Every time somebody sees me now, like they want to tell me why they're not in class. It's okay, guys. Like seriously, I'm not even, being judgmental at all. I'm not judging you, right? Everybody has things to do. I get it, right? But for some reason, when they see me, the guilt comes in and people want to tell me why they haven't been in class. And when it's cold, that's a perfect excuse, right? To say that it's cold and your joints are hurting, your shoulders hurting, your elbows hurting, your hips are hurting, your knees are hurting, your ankles are hurting, right? Everything is hurting. And so what usually happens next is that uh, that particular individual moves less, right? I mean, what happens when you're cold? You don't want to really move, even though you're cold, right? But you start moving less, you get stiffer. And so that whole routine of doing your thing, doing your exercises, going to your classes, and what have you, everything kind of goes out the window again. And then you start believing that every time that you are feeling pain, that means that you should stop doing whatever it was that you were doing, right? So today I want to leave you kind of knowing what's myth, what's truth, and what you can do right now to protect your joints without being fearful that you will be in pain because of the cold. Okay, so that being said, amen, Floridian, very cute, Bev. All right, so let's talk about cold weather damaging your joints. Okay, this is myth number one. So cold weather does not damage your joints. It doesn't cause arthritis and it doesn't wear your joints down. Okay, so maybe somebody has said that to you at some point. Maybe you read that somewhere. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not true. Okay, so again, cold weather doesn't damage your joints. Okay, so why do your joints feel worse in the cold? That should be the question that you're asking me right now, right? Well, cold weather will make your muscles tighter. Okay, this is why literally this week I told all of the students in my class, even those virtually, that you're waiting for class to begin, start stretching, start moving, start doing something to kind of wake up the muscles in your body instead of standing there and just, when is class going to start, right? So your muscles will get tight with the cold weather. Your blood flow decreases and you move less, of course, right? And you stay seated longer, right? Because what happens when you're cold? You just want to be like kind of cuddling with yourself, right? Or you want to be in your under the covers, or you're on the couch, right? You don't want to be standing up necessarily, right? So all of that creates that stiffness, not damage. Okay, and it's very important for you to realize that there's a difference between that. Now, your joints, so instead of saying that your joints get worse with the cold, right? Your joints aren't worse in the cold. They're just asking for more warmth and movement. That's what's happening. And you're not listening. Okay, so we have to listen to your body. Your body talks to you every single day. You just have to listen. Okay, so it's not that they get worse in the cold, it's just that they need more. Your joints will need more warming up. Hence why I say that you need to move your body a little bit more before class, right? Before doing whatever it is. If you decide you want to start cleaning your garage, right, in the middle of the winter, because like especially here in the Florida weather, we don't want to be cleaning our garage when it's hot, right? So all of a sudden everybody decides that they want to do all these outdoor chores because the weather is colder, yet you're not warming your body up for those activities. So even though you don't consider that exercise, it is because you're still using your joints. Make sense? Okay. So, my tips for you are to warm up longer during these cold times, right? To start slow, whatever it is that you're doing. If even if you're taking your favorite Zumba class, right? Start slow and gradually build, and also use layers. So you want to keep your knees, your hips, your lower back, your elbows, your shoulders all nice and warm. Okay, so what I usually suggest is wearing, if it's a knee problem or a wrist problem or an ankle problem that you kind of have been challenged with for a while, then use one of those nice flexible braces. Okay, that will give you the support that you need and also warmth in that area. Okay, if it's any other part, they have the K-tape you can put on those areas, or just wear something that will, compression tops they have, compression leggings they have, right? To just give your body a little more warmth where it needs. Okay, so stiff doesn't mean that you're injured. Let's get that straight. That just means that it needs a little more warmth. Okay, I've heard that excuse several times, and the way it's said is like you're injured. Believe me, nobody wants to be injured. So don't use that word. Be careful what you say, right? Because then you're manifesting that out there. All right. So is this making sense? Let me know in the comments. Say yes if it's making sense. All right. Okay. Moving on. Myth number 2 is if your joints hurt in the cold, then you need to rest more. Okay. This is another one. Okay. Again, think about those that I said that tell me that they didn't come to class because their knees were acting up or their hips were acting up because it was cold, right? It sounds like a legitimate reason, right? But it's an excuse, right? Because this one is sneaky. It's sneaky because it's the one that causes the most trouble, okay? Myth number 2, joint pain in cold weather means that you should rest more, right? That's the myth. And that's not necessarily true, okay? So rest has its place. Yes, you're going to need some rest days. Yes, you're going to need some recovery days. But too much rest in the cold weather, okay, or during the colder months actually makes things worse. Okay, so when you stop moving, what happens? Your joints get less lubrication. Okay, your muscles get weaker, your balance goes down, and your pain sensitivity increases. Oh, that's why I feel more pain? Yes. Okay, that is why, because of too much rest. Okay, the body loves motion. Okay, and joints were designed to move. Okay, and you're not a statue. The last time I checked, right? You have bones and you have joints and you have ligaments and you have tendons, and your body was made to move. Okay, so the right kind of movement is what reduces the joint pain. That's the truth. Okay, so the right kind of movement, even in the cold weather. So, examples, right? You can take a gentle dance fitness class or aerobics class, right? Or doing low impact strength classes. You can do mobility and range of motion work. Okay, range of motion, what does that mean? Well, kind of doing some twisting, some bending, right? To add a little bit of movement in there, and short, consistent workouts instead of long, intense ones. Okay, so I personally would rather see you move 10 to 20 minutes consistently than avoid the movement altogether. Okay, and that's what happens. You end up avoiding the movement altogether. Why? Because it's too cold. Because you're like, I'm gonna feel pain. My knees are gonna start hurting. My hips are gonna start hurting. My elbow hurts. My shoulder hurts. Yes, it does hurt because you're not moving. Okay? And even if you do just some kind of something for 10 to 20 minutes, it's better than doing zero. All right? Is that making sense? Yes or yes? Let's see. Bev says, yes, my morning walks are one pair of exercise leggings with a wide fleece lined pant over, one long sleeve exercise shirt with a hoodie sweatshirt and a winter coat, gloves, and beanie. Looks like I'm back in Minnesota. Yeah, layering. You gotta layer. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You get hot and you just start removing things. That's okay. But love that you're walking because yes, walking, even though it's on the lower end of the exercises, at least you're doing something, right? You're moving in a certain way. All right. Myth number 3, joint pain in the cold means that you're getting old. Listen to that. Joint pain in the cold means you're getting old. I've heard this one a lot, right? And honestly, it kind of hurts. This one breaks my heart a little bit. Winter or cold months joint pain is not just aging, right? People say this all the time. Pain is not a requirement of aging. There, I said it, okay? Again, pain is not a requirement of aging. Okay? Just because you're aging doesn't mean automatically you're on the road to pain. No, okay? Stiffness, being stiff, that's also not a life sentence for you, okay? And discomfort doesn't mean your decline, okay? It doesn't mean because you do have those discomforts going on in your body that there's no solution for it, okay? There's always a solution. Does it mean that we get rid of it completely? No, right? I always remind you of all of this. Your body is like a vintage car, right? You've had the same parts, the same cables, the same motor, the same everything in your car for all of your lifetime so far. Okay. Some of you have new parts, you've replaced some parts, but even those parts, right, only get you so far, right? So it's not about you not being able to do things anymore. It's just finding a new way to do it, discovering this new body that you have, and figuring out where it is that you still have control in giving your body what it needs. Okay, so what this cold or winter pain usually means is that you're not moving as much. Okay, it means that you're not hydrated enough, believe it or not, that you've had less sunlight, that you have more stress and more tension. Okay, so all of those things, right, can be what it means. And all of those things we can work with. Okay, so your body isn't falling apart, it's just communicating with you. So you need to listen. You need to listen. Okay, you can build strength, so you can get stronger. And I know that for some of you it's very, very hard to even imagine what that would be like, but you can build strength. Okay, you can improve mobility. 100% you can. Is it easy? No, but you can. You can feel confident in your body, right, at any age. Okay, so it doesn't end for you the minute that you have arthritis, the minute that you're told you have osteoporosis, the minute that you've had a rotator cuff surgery or an elbow surgery or a knee surgery or a hip surgery or an ankle surgery. Okay? Life does not end. You just have to figure out how to move forward. Okay? So here's what to do instead. Nice practical takeaways for you. So this is going to be your checklist. So I hope you write this down. You're going to warm up longer. So if you get to your class, or even if you're working out at home or on your own in the gym, whatever it is, right, you're going to take a little more time to warm up. So what does that mean? Well, I'm going to take the gym example. If you're in the gym, maybe you get on the treadmill for a little while and start warming up, right? Maybe you do some marches in place and some arm circles, okay? If you're waiting for a class to begin, maybe you do some hip circles, maybe you stretch those shoulders, maybe you lean down and reach for your toes, right? Maybe you do some torso twists, things like that, right? You're also going to keep your joints covered and warm. Okay, so for example, if you have ankle pain, right? What would you do for that? Wear warmer socks, right? Nowadays, it's popular to wear longer socks, right? And kind of scrunch them around your ankles. So maybe you want to do that, right? Because those no-show socks are not giving your ankles support. So maybe you need to do that, right? Maybe you need to wear a long sleeve dry fit shirt to just give your arms a little more warmth during your workout. Maybe you need a zip up, right? So that if you do get warm, then you can take it off. Okay. Moving daily, even lightly. Okay. So Bev says she takes a little bit of, she takes a walk in the morning. She likes to do that. That's beautiful. Okay. Those of you that don't work out or don't exercise, right? Even just doing things around your home, right? Rather than sitting down on the couch, keep yourself busy, right? Try to do some chores at home if that's something that you do, right? Or go for a walk, go somewhere, go to the park, meet up with friends, do it together, right? Something that's going to give you movement, right? Strength training, of course, I'm going to bring that up, right? Strength training gives your joints lots of support. Is it hard? I always get this question, but that's too hard. Isn't it hard? No. It's not hard when you're with the right trainer, when you're with the right coach that knows how to progress and right kind of start slow and build it up for you. If you go and do it on your own, yes, it's a scary thing because you don't know what you're doing exactly. You don't know how much weight to use. You don't know whether to use resistance bands or dumbbells or whatever, right? So strength training is not easy. It does challenge your body, but the end result is that you're giving your joints extra support. You're giving it everything that it needs. Stretching is a thing, right? Stretching gently as well early in the morning, after your class, or when you get home, or before bed. Okay, that's also counts as exercise. So stretching, of course, and just listening to your body. Okay, so that is the checklist. All right. So just to go through it: warming up longer, keeping your joints covered and warm, moving daily, even lightly, strength train to support your joints, stretching gently, don't force it, and listen to your body. Okay? Motion is lotion for the joints. Just remember that. Write that down. Motion is lotion for the joints. Okay? So that is what I want you to think. Anytime that you're moving, you're lubricating those joints. All right? So let me ask you, which myth have you believed the most? All right, so when we were talking about the myths, the first one was, let me back up on my notes, cold weather causes joint damage. Myth 2 was, if your joints hurt in the cold, then you should rest more, right? 3 was joint pain in the cold means that you're getting old. And then, yeah, so from those, because I thought I had 4, 1, 2, and 3, drop it in the comments. Which one did you believe the most? Or have you believed the most, right? And if this was helpful at all, put a little heart in the comments so that I know, or heart this video as it is being posted and it will remain here for the next 30 days, I believe, or share it with someone. Okay, now if they're not in this group, I don't think that you're going to be able to share it with them, but if you want them to join the group, then you can definitely share the group with them so that they can join. And this is why this group exists, right? To keep you moving, to keep you strong, to give you that confidence that you need to keep moving, to keep living, right? To keep doing the things that you love to do, not only when it's warm outside. Okay, so think about that a little more. I'm gonna look in here. Michelle says 30-minute walk every other night. Okay, I need a stretching routine. That's definitely a good one. Yes, pain doesn't have to happen. Yeah, exactly. All right. So listen to your bodies, ladies. That's basically what you have to do. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I'm super proud of everyone who showed up today and who shows up every Thursday, because we have people that are loyal watchers, which I love so much. So I'm proud of you for choosing you today, and of course for choosing movement. All right, so I'm going to leave you all with that. It's a short training today. If you have any questions about anything that we've discussed here, make sure to put them down in the comments. And also just a quick reminder about the upcoming Drums Alive event that's happening this Saturday, January 31st at 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so I'm sure you're going to see a lot of promos about it. If you have any questions about that as well, put it in the comments and I'll get you your answers. Have a great evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. See you next time.